Listening is one of the most profound and impactful ways to show that you care. It goes far beyond hearing words. It's about being fully present in the moment, tuning into what the other person is saying, and taking the time to understand their feelings, emotions, and thoughts. So often, in today's fast-paced world, we rush through conversations without truly engaging. We may hear the words being spoken, but we don't truly listen. The difference between hearing and listening is the difference between simply being present and being deeply invested in someone else's experience. When you listen to someone without judgment, you create a safe space for them to be vulnerable. This is an incredibly powerful act of care. Many people, especially those close to us, carry burdens that they may not know how to express or may feel too ashamed to admit. In these moments, they don't need someone to tell them what they should do or how they should think. What they need is someone who will listen with empathy, who will let them speak freely without fear of criticism or rejection. In those moments, simply listening can make all the difference. Imagine you're having a bad day and you turn to a friend or loved one for support. What you want most is not a lecture or advice, but someone who will sit with you, hear what you have to say, and truly understand your emotions. Listening without judgment means that you don't offer unsolicited advice, try to fix the situation, or make the other person feel bad for how they feel. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that every problem needs a solution, but sometimes the most effective solution is simply to offer someone the space to share their thoughts and emotions without fear of being judged or corrected. When you listen with empathy, you acknowledge the other person's experience is valid, regardless of whether you agree with them or not. It means you don't immediately dismiss their feelings or offer explanations for why they shouldn't feel the way they do. This kind of listening requires patience and openness, allowing the person to process their emotions in their own time and on their own terms. It's an act of respect. You're showing them that their feelings are important to you and that you value their perspective. It's a powerful reminder that everyone's emotional experiences are unique and everyone deserves to be heard. But it's not just about what's being said. Listening without judgment also involves picking up on what isn't being said. Sometimes what someone needs to communicate goes beyond words. Their body language, their tone of voice, and even the silence between words can reveal just as much as the words themselves. When you listen deeply, you can sense when something is left unsaid, and this can give you an opportunity to ask follow-up questions or provide the comfort that's needed. You're not just listening to the surface level information. You're paying attention to the underlying emotions that are being communicated. Active listening also means being present in the moment. In a world where distractions are endless, phones, social media, television, and the constant rush of daily life, being fully present with someone is an unexpected way to show that you care. It's easy to get distracted by notifications or by our own busy minds. But when you give someone your undivided attention, it's a clear signal that they are important to you. It tells them that they matter enough for you to stop what you're doing and give them the time and space to share their thoughts and feelings. In many relationships, especially romantic or family relationships, people tend to listen with the intent to respond rather than to understand. We may listen to someone's words, but our minds are already formulating a response, a piece of advice, or an argument. This can lead to misunderstandings or feelings of neglect because the other person feels that they're not truly being heard. Instead of focusing on your own thoughts and how to respond, the key to listening without judgment is to focus on the other person's experience. Let them finish speaking before you even begin to think about what you're going to say. This not only shows respect, but also allows you to absorb everything they're saying, giving you a clearer understanding of their emotions and needs. Another key element of listening without judgment is withholding personal opinions or biases. Sometimes our own beliefs or values can cloud our ability to listen effectively. For example, if someone confides in you about a difficult situation or a decision they've made, your instinct might be to offer your own viewpoint or to tell them what you would have done differently. While this might come from a place of wanting to help, it can make the other person feel invalidated, as though their experience or decision wasn't worthy of respect. Instead, listening without judgment requires you to suspend your own opinions and simply accept the other person's perspective, even if you don't agree with it. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should agree with everything the other person says. There will be times when you might not understand their feelings or actions, and that's okay. But what's important is that you show them the same compassion and understanding that you would want if you were in their shoes. Everyone processes emotions and experiences in different ways. And showing empathy means recognizing that their way of processing is just as valid as yours. This type of listening also helps to build trust and deepen connections. When someone feels truly heard, they are more likely to open up and share even more with you. Over time, this builds a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, and it strengthens the relationship. People want to feel seen, and being a good listener allows you to make others feel valued and cared for in ways that go beyond words. Listening without judgment is also a valuable skill when dealing with conflicts. In the heat of an argument, it's easy to become defensive and to stop truly listening to the other person's perspective. But if you can stay calm, open-minded, and focus on understanding their point of view without interrupting or reacting harshly, it can diffuse a potentially volatile situation. It shows that you're more interested in resolving the issue than in proving who's right or wrong. This can lead to more productive conversations and healthier, more respectful relationships. Ultimately, listening without judgment is one of the most unexpected yet effective ways to show you care. It's an act of deep empathy, respect, and understanding. It requires patience, presence, and an open heart. When you listen with this level of care, you offer the gift of being truly seen and heard, which can have a profound impact on the other person's emotional well-being. And in turn, it strengthens the bond between you and the person you care about. It's one of the most powerful ways to demonstrate that you truly care, not just in the easy moments, but especially in the tough ones when it matters the most. Offering your time is one of the most generous and meaningful ways to show someone that you truly care. In a world that constantly demands more from us, work, family, obligations, and personal goals, it can sometimes feel like there's never enough time to go around. Yet when we give someone our time, we're not just offering them a part of our schedule, we're offering them a piece of ourselves. Time is finite, and in many ways, it's the most precious thing we can give. This act of offering our time without expectation is a powerful demonstration of care and affection that transcends material gifts and fleeting gestures. When you offer your time to someone, you show them that they matter more than whatever else you may be doing. It means that in that moment, they have your full attention, your focus, and your willingness to be present. There's no substitute for this kind of attentiveness. Whether it's a few minutes for a meaningful conversation, a couple of hours to help with a project, or a weekend to be there for a loved one during a tough time, your time communicates something essential. You are important to me. This kind of care is deeply felt because it's not something that can be easily replaced or replicated. In a fast-paced, distraction-filled world, being fully present and available for someone is an act of true commitment. We all know how easy it is to get caught up in our daily routines, scrolling through social media, checking our phones, or thinking about what's next on our to-do lists. But when you truly offer your time to someone, whether they need your support, your attention, or simply your company, you're showing them that they are worthy of that kind of undivided focus. It's a signal that they are valued and respected, not just as an obligation or a passing thought, but as someone deserving of your full self in that moment. Offering time can take many forms, and it doesn't always require grand or elaborate plans. Sometimes the simplest things can be the most meaningful. For instance, Taking the time to sit down and have a coffee with a friend who is going through a rough patch can mean more than any gift you could buy. When you choose to invest your time in someone, you're giving them the opportunity to share their thoughts and feelings, to feel heard and supported. These moments of connection can provide immeasurable comfort, especially during times of stress or loneliness. One of the most impactful ways offering your time shows care is by being there during life's pivotal moments. We all experience moments of celebration, like weddings, graduations, or promotions, and moments of struggle such as illness, loss, or personal hardship. When you show up during these times, you're not just physically present, you're offering emotional support and demonstrating that you'll stand by someone regardless of the circumstances. It's easy to be there when everything is going well, but it's during the difficult times that your presence truly counts. Whether it's offering a listening ear, helping with chores, or simply being a calming presence, showing up for someone in their time of need sends a powerful message that you care about their well-being and that you are there for them when they need you the most. Offering your time also provides the opportunity to build deeper and more meaningful relationships. In a world that often emphasizes individual success, personal goals, and self-sufficiency, taking time out of your own life to help someone else is a reminder that we are all in this together. It fosters a sense of community and interconnectedness. Relationships, whether personal or professional, grow and strengthen when time is invested. When you make an effort to be there for someone, whether it's by helping with something practical, offering emotional support, or simply sharing a quiet moment together, you deepen the bond and make that relationship more resilient. Moreover, offering your time can have a ripple effect that extends far beyond the immediate moment. It can create a cycle of kindness and reciprocity, where the person you've helped feels moved to extend the same generosity to others. This creates a positive chain reaction where people feel motivated to offer their time, care, and attention in return, building a stronger, more compassionate community overall. In this way, giving your time is not only a gift to the person in front of you, but also a contribution to a broader culture of care and connection. But it's important to recognize that offering your time isn't just about the amount of time you give. It's about the quality of your presence. You can spend hours with someone, but if you're distracted, impatient, or disengaged, your time may not have the impact that you intend. On the other hand, even small amounts of time, when given with genuine attention and care, can be far more meaningful. The key is to be fully present in those moments, to show the person you're with that they matter more than anything else going on in your life at that time. This is why offering your time is such a powerful way to show you care. It's not just the hours or minutes that matter, but the intention behind them. It's also essential to understand that offering time doesn't always mean sacrificing your own needs or desires. Taking time for others should never come at the expense of your own well-being or personal boundaries. It's about finding balance and being intentional with how you allocate your time. Setting aside moments to help others or support those you care about doesn't mean you should neglect yourself. Instead, offering your time is about recognizing the importance of mutual care. Caring for others without losing sight of your own needs and aspirations. Offering time is also a way of showing that you are willing to invest in the long-term well-being of someone else. Unlike material gifts, which can be consumed and used up, time is something that you can never get back. When you give your time, you're investing in a person's future, their growth, and their happiness. This makes it one of the most profound and enduring ways to express care. Over time, these moments of shared connection, these investments of attention, become the foundation of lasting relationships, whether in friendships, family, or romantic partnerships. Ultimately, offering your time is an unexpected and powerful way to show you care. In a world where people often feel overlooked or neglected in the rush of daily life, taking the time to be present for someone speaks volumes. It conveys your willingness to prioritize them, to be there through the ups and downs, and to offer not just your attention, but your emotional and physical presence. Time is the one thing that, once given, can never be returned. But when you give it generously to others, you enrich their lives in ways that words and material gifts can't match. Through the simple yet profound act of offering your time, you show that you care deeply, that you're invested in their journey, and that their well-being matters to you. Showing up when it's inconvenient is one of the most unexpected and powerful ways to show someone that you care. It's easy to be there when everything is smooth sailing, when the schedules align, and when life is free of challenges. But it's during the times when things are difficult, chaotic, or simply inconvenient that your presence can make the most significant impact. When you show up for someone, even when it's inconvenient for you, you're demonstrating a deep level of commitment and care. Your willingness to be there despite the hurdles or disruptions in your own life speaks volumes about how much that person matters to you. We all have busy lives filled with our own responsibilities, goals, and obligations. It's often tempting to say no when someone asks for help or support, because it feels like it would require too much time, energy, or sacrifice on our part. But the truth is, the moments when we step out of our own comfort zones, when we put aside our own plans to help someone else, are the times when we have the opportunity to truly make a difference in their lives. Think about the times in your life when you've needed support, whether it was during a personal crisis, a moment of failure, or simply when you were feeling down. What made the biggest impact on you? Chances are it wasn't the people who showed up when it was easy, when it was convenient, or aligned with their own schedules. The ones who stood out were likely the ones who came through when they didn't have to, when their own lives were busy, or when they were facing challenges of their own. These people didn't just show up because it was easy. They showed up because they cared about you enough to make the effort, even at the cost of their own time and energy. This kind of support is incredibly meaningful because it shows that the relationship matters more than the circumstances. Life can be unpredictable and overwhelming at times. We all face moments when things don't go as planned, when the unexpected happens, or when we are forced to juggle multiple competing priorities. But it's during these times, when the world feels heavy and burdensome, that having someone by your side makes all the difference. When you show up for someone in these moments, you're giving them something truly special: your time, your emotional support, and a sense of stability in the midst of chaos. In many ways, showing up during inconvenient times requires more than just physical presence. It requires emotional presence. Sometimes, someone may not need you to solve their problems or provide solutions. What they need most is to know that they're not alone, that they have someone who is willing to step into their world even when it's messy, complicated, or overwhelming. This kind of support doesn't require you to be perfect or have all the answers. It just requires you to be there, to listen, and to show compassion. Moreover, showing up when it's inconvenient can also mean making sacrifices. It's one thing to be available for someone when it's easy and doesn't require much of you, but it's another thing entirely to step up when it means rearranging your plans or adjusting your schedule. It may require you to reschedule important events, put off personal goals, or step away from something that's important to you. But when you do this for someone else, you are communicating that they are worth the sacrifice, that their needs and well-being are important enough to disrupt your own life for a while. This kind of sacrifice doesn't mean neglecting your own needs, of course. It's about finding balance and being intentional with how you give your time and energy. But it's about prioritizing the other person's needs in that moment, acknowledging that they may need support or assistance that goes beyond what's convenient for you. In doing so, you strengthen the bond between you and that person. They'll know that when life gets tough, they can count on you, not just when it's easy, but when it really matters. Another aspect of showing up when it's inconvenient is that it builds trust. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship, and it's not built on grand gestures or empty promises. Trust is built through consistency, through the small acts of care that accumulate over time. When you show up for someone in difficult or inconvenient moments, you are demonstrating that you are reliable, that they can count on you no matter what. This builds a sense of security in the relationship, knowing that the person won't walk away when things get hard, but will stick around and provide support when it's most needed. Showing up for someone also shows them that you believe in them. Life is filled with ups and downs, and we all go through periods of self-doubt, frustration, or hardship. But when someone shows up for you in those moments, it can be a reminder that you're not alone in your struggles. It's a signal that you're worth investing in, that the person believes in your ability to overcome challenges and that they want to be there to help you through it. This can be an incredibly empowering experience, as it reminds you that you have a support system and that you're not facing life's challenges on your own. It's also worth noting that showing up when it's inconvenient can have a ripple effect. When someone sees that you are willing to make sacrifices to help them, it may inspire them to do the same for others. Kindness and support are contagious, and when people witness your selflessness, it can encourage them to offer the same kind of support to others. This creates a culture of care, where people feel more motivated to go out of their way to help those around them, making the world a more compassionate place. Of course, showing up when it's inconvenient doesn't always mean making huge, dramatic sacrifices. Sometimes it's simply about being present in the moment, even if it's not the most convenient time for you. It could mean putting down your phone when you're with someone who needs your attention, being there for a friend in the middle of a busy work week, or supporting a loved one during a personal crisis, even when you're facing challenges of your own. The key is to prioritize the relationship and show that you're willing to be there for someone no matter what the circumstances. Ultimately, showing up when it's inconvenient is a powerful, unexpected way to show that you care. It's an act of selflessness, a demonstration of commitment and loyalty, and a way to deepen the bond between you and the people you care about. It's easy to be there when it's convenient, but it's the times when you step outside of your comfort zone that make all the difference. Your presence during difficult moments can provide comfort, reassurance, and strength to the person who needs it most. Celebrating someone's successes, whether big or small, is a profound way to show that you care about them. In a world that often emphasizes competition, achievement, and individual success, taking the time to genuinely celebrate the milestones and victories of others can create a culture of positivity, support, and shared joy. Often, we are quick to comfort those who are struggling, and while offering support during tough times is essential, celebrating victories, no matter how small, is equally important and shows a deep level of emotional investment. The key to showing you care by celebrating someone's success is the authenticity behind it. When you celebrate someone's accomplishments, it's not just about acknowledging their achievement. It's about recognizing their hard work, growth, and the effort they put in to get to that point. Whether it's something major like a promotion at work, graduating from school, or buying a new home, or something smaller like completing a personal project or overcoming a fear, every success deserves recognition. By taking the time to celebrate it, you communicate that their effort mattered to you, that you were paying attention, and that you're truly happy for their success. Often, people feel reluctant to celebrate their own victories. There's a tendency to downplay achievements, especially in cultures where humility and modesty are highly valued, or when people fear that they may come across as boastful. In such environments, it's easy for someone to feel isolated or unappreciated for their hard work. This is where you, as someone who cares, can step in. You can be the one who lifts them up, helps them take a moment to savor their success, and reminds them that their accomplishments are worthy of recognition. By celebrating them, you're giving them permission to feel proud of their achievements, which can have a tremendous impact on their self-esteem and confidence. Celebrating success also reinforces positive behavior. When you celebrate someone's achievements, you're acknowledging the effort and dedication that went into reaching that goal. This positive reinforcement encourages the person to continue pursuing their dreams and working toward new goals. It serves as a reminder that their hard work pays off. and it can motivate them to aim even higher, knowing they have support and encouragement along the way. Celebrating success is not only about recognition, it's about inspiring future growth and pushing someone to keep striving for even greater accomplishments. It's also important to remember that celebrating success is not always about grand gestures. While big parties or elaborate gifts can certainly make an impact, some of the most meaningful celebrations are the simple ones. A heartfelt congratulatory message, a sincere compliment, or even a small gesture like a congratulatory card can show someone that you recognize and appreciate their efforts. Sometimes all it takes is a genuine, "I'm so proud of you," or "You've worked so hard for this, and it's amazing to see you succeed." These simple words, when spoken with sincerity, can have just as much of an impact as any large celebration. It's the thought and the emotional connection behind the gesture that truly matters. Moreover, celebrating someone's success is an opportunity to strengthen your relationship with them. When you celebrate a person's victories, you're showing that you are not just interested in their well-being during difficult times, but that you are invested in their happiness during their triumphs as well. It deepens your emotional bond and helps create a more supportive and positive connection. People often remember who was there to celebrate with them during their moments of joy, just as they remember who supported them through difficult times. The more you celebrate the people you care about, the more they will feel that sense of connection and trust in the relationship. Celebration also has the power to uplift not just the individual, but also the collective. When someone's success is celebrated in a group setting, it creates a shared sense of joy and accomplishment. It reminds everyone that we are all part of a community and that success isn't just a personal victory, it's something that can inspire and elevate others. In work environments, for instance, celebrating the success of one person can motivate the entire team. It fosters a culture of mutual respect, encouragement, and positivity where people feel supported in their efforts and are motivated to continue working hard toward their own success. Celebrating success can also be a powerful tool for healing and growth. For someone who has struggled with self-doubt or faced numerous setbacks, having their victory celebrated can be a turning point in their journey. It can remind them that despite the challenges they've faced, they've made it, and they have something to be proud of. Celebrating success isn't just about acknowledging an end goal, it's about validating the person's efforts, resilience, and strength along the way. It helps shift the focus from obstacles to accomplishments, from setbacks to progress. Additionally, when you celebrate someone's success, it can encourage them to pay it forward. When a person feels celebrated and valued, it often sparks a desire to extend that same encouragement and recognition to others. By setting an example of how to celebrate and support others, you contribute to a cycle of kindness and positivity. This can be especially impactful in environments like the workplace, where the recognition of one person's success can inspire others to work together, support each other, and celebrate collective achievements. The act of celebration becomes contagious, creating a culture where everyone feels recognized, supported, and motivated to succeed. It's also worth noting that celebrating success doesn't always need to be tied to individual achievement. You can also celebrate the successes of a team or a group, highlighting how everyone contributed to the outcome. When a team works together to reach a shared goal, it's important to recognize and celebrate the collective effort. This fosters a sense of camaraderie and reinforces the idea that success is not just about individual accolades, but about the strength of working together and supporting one another. Finally, celebrating success, both big and small, is a reminder that life is not just about getting through tough times, but also about appreciating the good moments. It's about taking the time to acknowledge the victories, the progress, and the growth that occur along the way. In a world that often moves quickly and demands constant hustle, it's easy to overlook the moments of triumph. But by intentionally celebrating success, you remind yourself and others to slow down and savor those moments of joy and fulfillment. Celebrating someone's success is an unexpected but deeply impactful way to show that you care. It's more than just throwing a party or giving a gift. It's about recognizing the effort, resilience, and hard work that went into achieving a goal. Whether the success is big or small, celebrating it reinforces the importance of the journey and encourages continued growth. It deepens relationships, uplifts communities, and reminds us all of the power of recognition and support. In celebrating others, we not only show that we care, but also contribute to a world that values kindness, encouragement, and collective success.